All right, hey everybody. Um, Today I want to talk to you guys about something that is on my mind. Catfishing. um, Maybe I guess I'll start out by just explaining what catfishing is, because I know some people are going to watch this video and they're not going to know what catfishing is. So catfishing is essentially an online dating phenomenon that happens when somebody pretends to be somebody else and they kind of lure you in, and they either do it for the sake of the thrill or they lead you on, getting pictures from you, whatever it might be. So in the gay world, this is quite a common experience, and I'm not sure about other people and your experiences. I'd love for you to share your experiences below in the comments and let me know what your experiences are with this, but it happens to me quite often, believe it or not, and I find it to be very violating. I find it to be very discouraging, and I wanted to share my 2 cents on this today. So basically, I'm gonna kind of share some backstory here, because this is why there's a strong emotional response in me for this, because I had an experience about maybe 5 years ago where I was befriended by a guy online, and we'll say his name is Jared for whatever confidentiality purposes. And this guy befriended me, and we ended up hanging out. And it was not sexual, it was purely platonic. And I set that boundary with him that I was not interested in him romantically, and wanted to just have a platonic relationship. And looking back, I think that was the trigger for him to start on this adventure. So basically, I don't want to go into too much detail about the story, but in a nutshell, he catfished me several times throughout the course of a whole year. He used very vulnerable and sensitive information that I was sharing with him as a friend to set up profiles and have me lured in, because he knew what I was looking for. He knew what type of guy I was after, and he created profiles exactly like this. And essentially, I fell for it several times, and then I started to notice trends in the way that these people were talking, and that they were sharing similar mannerisms in their vocabulary and things like that. So I started to kind of catch on. I'm like, this isn't several people catfishing me, this is one person catfishing me. So I started to kind of like put on my little Sherlock Holmes hat, and I was like trying to figure out what was going on. And I actually did a lot of meditating around it, and I am a very strong believer that when you are aligned, you actually can feel people's energy and you can kind of sense what's happening. And so this went on for just shy of a year, and I finally kind of caught on that this was this Jared guy who was doing this. And so I invited him over to my house, and I decided to confront him, and I asked him if I could see his scruff profile and to make sure that this wasn't him. I said, if you have nothing to hide, just show me what is on your scruff profile, and then we're good. And he refused to. So I took that as a strong sign that that was him that was doing this. Okay, so fast forward to now, and this just this past week, I guess weekend, the same thing happened here in Chiang Mai. So a guy started talking to me. To be honest, I think he knows me from the past, where he's watched my videos or something, because he was basically presenting himself as this ideal candidate for me, and like that he was good looking, he had a strong spiritual practice, he was really wanting to practice intimacy and connection and all these things, and I was like, wow, like this is crazy. So started to pursue that, went on for like 3 days, and then he got pictures from me, and then blocked me. So I was like, okay, and it really struck a chord in me. I was like, what a little fucker, you know what I mean? And then it started to get me thinking. And that's what I want to share with you guys today. I want to bring some light into this dark topic. I want to bring some consciousness into this dark topic. And hopefully this will be an entertaining video for people that aren't catfishing, but for people that are, I hope this is going to be an eye-opening experience for you, because I want you to see firsthand that what catfishing is. And bring consciousness to you as the person that's maybe doing this, or maybe you've done this and you've healed from it, because really it's a very violating experience. It's crossing people's boundaries. It's creating mistrust in a community where trust is not common, and it's very, very hard for us as gay men to put ourselves out there and be seen. And then when we do, we have these people that are doing this, right? And so people that are catfishing are essentially people that are struggling. Okay, these people are in a lot of pain. They're hurting, and they're experiencing severe shame and disconnection from themselves and from people around them. So a lot of times with these people, they're struggling with maybe they've been rejected in the past, maybe they've been catfished themselves, maybe they are bored, whatever it might be. Like, you need to look at why you're engaging in these behaviors, right? So for me, it's annoying at the same time, but I try and bring compassion and empathy into every situation I enter, because even though my boundaries were crossed, I felt violated, I still have the consciousness in my being to be able to see this person is coming from a place of pain, right? They're acting out from a place of pain. So how can I not be compassionate towards them for being like that? But at the same time, if you're acting out from a place of pain, why don't you take all that energy that you're expending on trying to convince me of something that you are not, and then blocking me? Why don't you take all that energy and start to cultivate it within and find exactly what you're looking for outside yourself? Look within, right? Because you're catfishing, what are you getting out of it, right? You're getting some chuckles, you're getting some revenge on people, whatever it might be, and then you're still left as the sad person that is engaging in these pathetic behaviors that are trying to create some sort of pleasure for you, but it's really at the end of the day creating more pain for you, right? So if this is something that you do and that you're engaging in, I would highly recommend that you reevaluate what you want out of the experience, right? Like, at the end of the day, you might be creating suffering and for others, but at the same time, you're creating suffering for yourself. You're prolonging what it is that you're yearning for. You're just finding a solution to expel the anger that you feel because you're not getting what you need to get out of these relationships, and you're creating more pain and suffering for yourself, right? So, like I said, take all that energy that you're putting into creating these profiles and collecting these pictures and doing all this shit that you need to do to become a catfisher. Put that energy towards something that's going to make you feel better, make you feel stronger and happier in the person that you want to become, right? Otherwise, you're just going to keep creating this karma for yourself, right? Like, think about what's happening when you're doing that to people. You're creating this, not only this energy of mistrust and betrayal and all of these things within the community, you're also creating that within your own perceptions of what you think the community is that you're impacting is. That there's betrayal, there's mistrust. You're creating your own reality of that. So yeah, if it's connection you're looking for, find ways to have connection. Start to develop a spiritual practice that's going to help you find what you're looking for, and stop creating profiles and messing with people. You know what I mean? You're just digging yourself a deeper karmic hole that you're going to have to dig your way out of one day, unless you want to do this for life and be lonely and, with all due respect, pathetic, because it really is pathetic. And sad. It's sad. It makes me hurt for you that you feel the need to engage in these behaviors to try and meet your needs when there's so many other ways to meet your needs. We need more gay men in the community to show up consciously. We need more gay men that are trustworthy, that are honest, and we're just creating more and more darkness in our community, and we are the ones that have to live in that community. So you're creating darkness for yourself by creating more and more and more of these catfishing situations. So, and then I want to also speak to the people that have been catfished, because you know what? It happens to all of us, right? It happens to all of us. So we have all been there. Maybe we rejected somebody online and then they created a profile and they fucked with us, whatever that looks like for you. Don't act out in a revengeful way. Don't bring mistrust into your next interaction. Just be cautious, right? Because then what ends up happening is we start to create in our environment what we perceive through our own filters. And if our filters are all bunged up with mistrust, then we're never going to be able to invite in when someone is really being real with us and wanting to show up. So yeah, don't let this interfere with your ability to take off your mask. I'm going into my next interaction online as if this never happened, because you know what? I'm not going to be that guy that is going to put on my armor because I was betrayed or I was mistrusted. I'm not going to do that. I refuse to, because then these people who are catfishing, they're getting exactly what they want out of their experience. They're creating pain and misery in other people because they're feeling pain and misery. So if we rise above that and we say, you know what, I'm not going to let this impact how I enter my next interaction, all the power to you. So but yeah, drop some comments, let me know what your guys' experience with this is, and let's shine some light on it, because it's a fucking annoying topic, and it sucks, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, we can bring some light and some consciousness into it, and we can rise above it. So sending you guys lots of love. Ciao for now.